Namaste, good morning. In this very good morning, on this auspicious day, we are going to discuss a great topic, that is unshakable faith. I want to say, unshakable faith in the divine grace will never falter, will never fail. So, as we know, that faith must be there and that must be unshakable, active, ardent, unshakable. That type of faith will never fail in the divine grace, that will never fail or falter. So, on this occasion, on this glorious morning, on this topic, in the great topic, we are going to discuss on the unshakable faith that we have to build. And we have to build the unshakable faith. That is not also possible in our side. Of course, we have to aspire for it, and the divine will come and build this unshakable faith. We have often, many times we pray to the divine in that way. We have seen, glory to thee, O Lord, supreme master of all realization, give us a faith active, ardent, unshakable in thy victory. So that way we have many times in life, of course, we have prayed in that way. Very great prayer, of course, the single line from that great prayer we have seen, faith active, ardent, unshakable in thy victory, that has to be given. So that trust we have to build, and that trust, Sri Aurobindo, of course, that trust how it will be. Sri Aurobindo speaks of trust the divine power, and she will feed the godlike elements in you and shape all into an expression of the divine nature. So just imagine how many terms, the terms divine power, divine nature, godlike elements in you. So just imagine how many terms, as it has been repeated, the divine has been repeated in couple of ways, couple of formats, couple of course, forms. I will read it again, I will try to quote it again. Trust the divine power, and she will free the godlike elements in you and shape all into an expression of the divine nature. So, into that conversion is possible only by the divine power. If that trust is there, if the confidence is there, that reliance is there, and finally it will be changed into the godlike elements in you and shape all into an expression of divine nature. Then again, he abandons not those who have trusted him enough, even ignorantly, unknowingly, or maybe out of emotion or something they have done. Though he abandons not those who have trusted him even ignorantly. So this out of maybe that aspiration is there, that reliance is there, that trust is there. You have built a confidence on him, or either unknowingly you have trusted. So that also counts a great. That also brings a big result in you. So it actually it gives a good result. Now I want to quote a very interesting story. In my short discussion, I will get for you a very interesting story. The caption is develop trust. A man just got married, and after the marriage, he is returning home with his wife. Anyway, the you will see the characteristic of all. Anyway, the freshly they have got married, and immediately they are returning, and in between they are actually crossing a lake, that is actually crossing a river, and in a boat. So they are crossing a lake in a boat. That is the scenario. Immediately after getting married, they are returning home. When suddenly there get a storm arose, because suspense nahi to serial nahi, so there must be some suspense. If there is no suspense, then there is no anxiety in describing the story, telling you a story. So at that moment, immediately after getting married, they are returning along in a boat through a lake, and that time storm arises. What happens? The man was a warrior and a person with very strong willpower. He is a very man, the groom is a very with strong willpower and very much a great warrior. But his the wife, the woman, was very much actually afraid shy, and moreover, freshly married. So just imagine having a lot of faith and immediately having a big dreams in his vision, dreaming in a big way, and immediately finding the soil under the feet is actually passing on. So afraid because it seemed almost hopeless that there is no chance, she feels. The boat was small and the storm was really huge, very small, and very that is the evening also it is coming. The naturally fearfulness, fear psychosis is there, and any moment they are going to be drowned. That was the scenario. That was the real scene, position. That was the real scene. But the man sat silently. This is the difference. There is fearfulness, fear psychosis on the freshly married bride. But the groom is actually is having a big willpower, very strong, very silent, very much actually fearless. So sitting silently, calm, quiet, as if there is nothing is happening. In that time, that the groom, that lady is actually fearful, in panic. Anything can happen. The dream will be shattered into pieces. Just already, not the dreams. Things have been materialized. Already, marriage is over, and within a couple of minutes, maybe they are going to reach their destination. But thing is that storm in the lake is on the way, and that is very panicky. The woman was trembling, and she said, "Are you not afraid?" In a panic, in a very fearfulness, he's asking the husband, "Are you not afraid?" So, this may be our last moment in life. Again, repeating, this may be the last moment in our life. It does not seem that we will be able to reach the other shore and we will make our family life will start anew or something. Everything almost going to just start anew. It may be possible, it may not be possible. So only some miracle can save us. That was the big panicky sentence, panicful sentence. That is a fearful sentence from the already. And otherwise, death is certain. There is no chance of any survival. The situation scenario is changing like this. So again, this gentleman is sitting silently, calm, quiet, fearlessly sitting and enjoying the storm. So then this lady is again shouting, "Are you not afraid? Are you then no answer. Then again, are you mad or something? Ladies speaking. No, nothing, no answer. Are you a stone or something? No answer. Just imagine after immediately getting married, just a face married, and these are the terms being used out of the subconsciousness, out of this fearfulness. The man laughed and took the sword. Immediately, then after the hearing is just a man stood and went near the lady, stood before him, and took his sword out of the sheath. Then the woman was even more puzzled. What is this man? Is it a mad? The storm is there. There is no chance of survival. And I is mad like stone, like he's sitting, no reaction, nothing. Even if I am asking questions, it is useless. So what he is doing? Then this man brought the naked sword close to the woman's neck. So again, another actually it is another irony, another critic, another puzzle. So close that just a small gap was there, almost that the sword, naked sword, was touching the neck of the bride. So it was almost touching the neck. Then he said, "This man first time is making some word, speaking something. Are you afraid?" To the lady, to his groom, is asking. To the bride, he asking. Are you? She started to laugh and said. That time she got some courage. This lady is smiling and in a loud voice speaking. Why should I be afraid? Why should I be afraid? If the sword is not in your hands, then something I should be afraid. But sword is there. I have caught your hand. Actually, I have married you. Then what is the point in fearing? I know you love me. Then this gentleman put the sword back and kept it in the sheath and said, "This is my answer. I know God loves me. The storm is in his hands, as the sword was in my hands. It was brought to your neck, and you are confident that I will not kill you because you are my better half." So whatever is going to happen is going to be good. Everything happens for the good sake only, nothing bad in it. To be good. So if we survive good, if we don't survive that, also it is also divine mercy. There is a meaning in each curve and line, because everything is in the hand of the divine, and He can do anything wrong. So moral. This is after saying this, both smiled and waited, and almost the scenario that the storm was over, that fearfulness, fear psychosis was over. The moral is to develop trust. This is the trust which one needs to become capable of transforming the whole life. If this trust is there, unshakable trust, faith is there, then nothing and any loss less won't be do any harm. So this is the eagle's rebirth, like this we are going to push. So these are the thing we know that the trust is like this and the reliance is like this. So we will go into the Sri Aurobindo's philosophy little bit. Sri Aurobindo quotes to trust, the feeling of sure expectation of another's help and the reliance on his word and the character. This is trust. Confidence in another sense, the sense of security that goes with the trust. If trust is there, confidence must come. Reliance, dependence on another for something based on the trust. Another reliance, we must have reliance on the divine. Conviction, intellectual faith held in on what seems to be good reasons. With reasons, conviction is attached, tagged. Belief, intellectual acceptance only. That is belief, I believe. That is intellectual acceptance. Faith, a dynamic, entire belief and acceptance. Dynamism is there in the faith. Anyway, so we have little bit come forward with this idea and ideology of trust, confidence, reliance, anything on faith, belief like this. Again, few terms in few seconds will go for this faith. Faith is the sole witness of something not yet manifested, achieved, or realized. Very interesting definition defined by Sri Aurobindo. Faith is the soul's witness to something. Soul's witness to something not yet manifested, achieved, or realized. Again, faith is a thing precedes knowledge, not comes after knowledge. Knowledge, it is coming from the outward superficiality of the mind, but the thing is that faith precedes knowledge. It comes before knowledge. It does not depend upon the coming of the knowledge. If all the knowledge, if it is divine, it comes and ends in the divine. In the entire knowledge is divine, and wisdom is something more. Anyway, it is the outer intellect that is infirm and deficient in faith. Outer intellect that is infirm and deficient in faith. The inner being in the heart, it is always. Just imagine the difference between the existence of faith in outer being. In outer intellect, it is infirm and deficient. Some deficiency you will find, but in the inner being, the heart is in the heart. It is always. Against during the course, the world thinks that it moves by the light of reason, rational mind, reasoning mind. That is only surface mind, subsurface mind we are thinking of, nothing in the higher mind or something. But it is really impelled by its faiths and instincts, impelled by the faiths and the instincts. The energy, the true power comes in it is getting pushed up by the faiths and the instincts. So reason is not all. Reason is just an instrument. It is being pushed and impelled by faiths and instincts. Faith is a necessary means for arriving at the realization. Realization, that is a must, and without realization, in spiritual realization, that counts a lot in the integral yogic process. So faith is a necessary means for arriving at the realization. At the end, the flickering of the faith will cease. Now we find that there is flickerings in the case of faith. But at the end, because it is only beginning, or we are moved few steps ahead, थोड़ी देर गया है, जब बहुत दूर जाना है, तो इसलिए क्या करना, तो एट द एंड व्हेन वी विल रीच द एंड, व्हेन द डेस्टिनेशन विल कम, हम जब पहुंच जाएंगे उधर, तो क्या होगा, एट द एंड द फ्लिकरिंग्स ऑफ फेथ विल सीज, एंड फॉर वी शैल सी हिज फेस एंड फील ऑलवेज द डिवाइन प्रेजेंस एट द एंड, बिकॉज इट इज़ ओनली द बिगिनिंग. और थोड़ी देर हम जा चुके हैं, ये उसका जाने का थोड़ा दूर हम ओनली क्रॉस हुआ है. Then man demands miracle, because to have faith, to gain faith, actually they bargain. That is not the that is, they are filled with incertitude, inertia, grayness, obstructions. They don't have the strong faith. They demand. Actually, they demand here in the course.